Okay. Well, there you go. Yep, that's maybe gonna stay. Make suction. There, you won't probably stay. Anyway, so you might be able to ascertain behind me, or not. I've packed up from Halloween. And there's a lot to cover. What have I done? A lot. More than I ever thought I would, actually. I I took a trip out of state with one of my best friends. To I, um, I rented an Airbnb in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and it was fantastic. I learned a lot about my limitations, and I learned a lot about people I care about and why traveling with the people you care about sometimes really sucks. I love my friend Jerry, but my god, the questions leading up. Good lord. We can shop for these things on the way, okay? Come on. Yeah. Anyway. Prior to that, I did a pumpkin carving. It went really well. We stopped at a couple of places without going in on the way to Eureka Springs, and looked at them from the outside, supposedly with a haunted history, and that was fun. Saw some really cool stuff. Now, that was just a long weekend. That was just a Friday to a Monday off, 4-day weekend type thing. And then, what else have I done? Candlelight concert. I've done for Halloween, I did my brunch, of course, every Sunday of Halloween. I rented an Airbnb for, I believe it's, when it was Saturday, from Saturday at 5 p.m. until Monday at 1 p.m. So, half of the day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Monday till 1. Yeah, pretty much 1.5 days, give or take. Anyway, minus a few hours. So, yeah, that was an experience. And both Airbnbs, I did not have my wheelchair with me. So that was another experience. Getting my head around hopping on one foot. Because when the leg comes off and the bathroom nature calls, it's either hop or nothing. Because it's just too inefficient to put the leg back on just for a bathroom break. Excuse me. Anyway, so I hopped. I didn't hurt myself. I was conscientious. Look, test hop, and then leap. Very careful. And We had wonderful coffee, wonderful beignets. At the brunch, I made witch's brew stew, vegetarian, and vegan, and what is it? Uh, Lactose free. One of the guests was lactose free, and not by choice. He had an actual allergy, and you had to be. I really actually do enjoy navigating other people's dietary restrictions. So that was interesting, trying to find a way to make sure that the ingredients were conscientious to the guests, and it was a good time. So that happened. I also got a quiche from a well-known contisserie. There it goes again. Fine, I'll hold it. On the plaza in the city. And I also got all the goodies for the charcuterie. And everybody was happy. It was just 7 people other than me, and everyone was happy. Yeah, but that was Sunday. But today is Thursday. I have done nothing else this week other than chill. That's not true. I've done one other thing this week, and that's kind of the big news. I've been working on getting my pre-approval for a house. I got my pre-approval approved. I this week toured my first house, a house that I had been investigating quite extensively and exclusively. Basically, I had romanticized this house quite a bit in my head, and yeah, that romance was not. It was short-lived once I scratched beneath the surface. So, I saw all the imperfections of this house, and yeah, I lowballed the shit out of my offer. And I haven't heard back. I don't expect I will. My anxiety is through the roof. And we haven't even begun the process. I'm going to wait 3 weeks to a month before I offer again. But, I will offer again. I'm going to add $25,000 to my offer. But I'm also going to add, that they need to chop down a tree in the backyard because it's already half dead. It's hanging over a detached garage. It's a hazard, and yeah, it needs to be chopped down, but I don't want it removed. I just want it chopped down because it's a wood-burning fireplace in the house. I just want it chopped down. I will handle the dissemination of the tree myself, and that's all I want. 3 things to be dealt with in the basement, and chopping down of the tree, and anything else I will take on myself. Extensive updates in the kitchen, which is kind of par for the course, especially for a house that was built in '59. So in 2059, it will be 100 years old. Damn. It's 2025. It is 25 plus 9 years. It's 34 years away. 34? Yeah. 34 years away from being 100 years old. And I'm 34 years away from being 50 years old. Right. Anyway. Anyway. But that's what's going on. The biggest thing in my life right now is a house, and it's kind of overshadowing my entire Halloween week. There's also another thing on my to-do list right now. My best friend has a housewarming the day after tomorrow. Another bestie is taking me out to the casino. I'm not the biggest casino type person, but I do enjoy going out to the casino. It's a nice active environment, and yeah, there's a lot of walking involved. It's very user friendly for people in my condition, so I think that's by design. And also on my to-do list is to get the tags updated on my car. I'm already late on that. I have to pay a fine, but I've got all my information. I just gotta get it done. And with this house situation, my motivation has been quite a bit more end goal oriented, so I don't want to acquiesce into my usual procrastination mode. So I want to get that done ASAP. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. Anyway, because of the house, everything else in my life is really scattered, kind of to the back burner. Even Halloween, which is like my most favorite thing. My absolutely most favorite thing ever. And yeah. But because of the house, I'm seeing a future that I've never seen before. A brighter future, more capable existence outside of this room. And it's not that I'm stuck here. It's just that it's the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. I may be an unstoppable force, but my parents are an immovable object, and I don't own anything here. None of this is mine. I've got the clothes on my back and the possessions in my room. And existing outside of this room is noticed. It's like the princess and the pea. No matter how many mattresses there are, they will notice if there is even a pea 200 mattresses down, and that pea is me. And on one level, they both probably want me to stay right where I am. They just don't want any sign that I exist in this house. And that's no existence for either one of us. For any one of us. And it's small things, like the coffee. I've got these coconut flavored things that go into hot coffee, they just find a way to vanish and just disappear from view. It's like, yeah, I don't use them very often, but leave them alone. It's like, just because they're visible and they're not moms, they have to be dealt with. And my shower chair, I notice every time. It's like, even when we don't have company, she goes out of her way to close the shower curtain. Like, it's like she's intentionally going out of her way to erase any sign that anyone but her lives here. All those pillows on the couch, no room for people. It's an existence I just don't understand. You want it to be yours and only yours. But in doing so, you push absolutely everybody else around you away. And then the complaint is nobody wants to come around. It's like, yeah, there's no room for anyone to exist in your closed off world. And I'm just another thorn in that paw. Not to belabor the metaphor, but there's this cocoon of white blood cells forming around me, and I am just being expunged as painlessly as possible. At the same time, the moment I'm gone, you'd be like, where'd you go? Why'd you want to leave? It's like, there is not an ounce of breathing room here. The only place I can be anything is inside this room. And I've already squeezed so much life into this room. I can't function in this room. So much purchasing, so much crazy lights, so much life, so much of myself into this room. I cannot even move. I need more. I'm an adult. Even if I weren't an adult, I would need more. And even if it's rare for me to insist upon more, or expect more, or insist upon what I deserve, I think it's safe to say at this point in my life I deserve more. So I'm going for it. And my dad's supporting me. My mom is my mom. One minute she's making it So I can't even breathe in this house. The next minute she's telling me, oh, I shouldn't live here, or I shouldn't live there. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, why didn't I just wait? I'm just like, no. It is possible for someone who loves you to be the reason you can't have the life you deserve. It is possible for someone to both love you and stand in the way of better things. So, yeah. And that goes both ways. I'm relying on them too much. They're relying on me too much. When people have kids, nobody signs on to looking after kids for 50 fucking years. I do have a feeling that a part of me looking after me and caring after me and keeping me a little bit subservient and a little bit dependent keeps them young. It keeps them parents, so they don't have to move on to the next part of their life. They don't have to question the next thing that's going to make them happy. So they're worried it's too late to find it. So the sooner I move out, the better. Because it's not too late for them. It's not too late for me. Damn, I wish I'd quit drinking a lot sooner. And life could have started a lot sooner. And you know what? It wasn't really the alcohol that was keeping me from living. It was the alcohol was the reason I believed that I was a failure. They were keeping me feeling wrong and like a failure. They made me feel like I could never do anything right. And I had nothing in my moral toolkit to argue against them with because I was just another drunk. So I believed them. And now they can't convince me of it anymore. It doesn't work anymore. I'm wrong. I'm a failure. I can't finish what I start. It's not true. It was never true. I just acquiesced and believed. What I was told about myself. And when I say I was told about myself, it wasn't even what I was told. It was about what I was led to believe about myself. And it just was not true. And maybe I tried to get myself to believe it as well, and maybe that had something to do with alcohol. But there was nobody in my life who believed in me. Ever. And now without the alcohol, I believe in me. I trust me. They don't. They still treat me like the same fool who can't do anything right. And that's the problem. I know they're wrong. And that's a weird feeling. To know that they're wrong and then wonder how long they've been wrong. And how long was I wrong? And how much did the alcohol actually have to do with how wrong we all were? And how much of my life was spent feeling like I was someone that I actually wasn't? And feeling like I was someone I actually wasn't contribute to more alcohol. And this feels like a circular blame thing, but I have no one to blame but myself for the alcohol. But without it, I am different. And I wish I was different sooner. Maybe then my family would have faith in me. Until then, I could have enough faith in myself. Till they do. Even if they never do. It's completely possible that they never do. It's just how I have to live my life. I have to be the only one who does. And it's completely possible that this entire sobriety situation is completely thankless. Every positive thing that I want to have happen is never going to happen. Ever. They're not going to look at me any different. Every wrong I've ever done is never going to feel right again. Every unkindness is never going to be undone, no matter how much kindness I try to do. Does that mean you stop trying? No. But it does mean that what you're doing is trying. It's not doing. Stop trying. Just do and be. Let the world make up its own mind about things. Just do and be who you are. And if that's kindness, let it be kindness. If it's not kindness, then it wasn't the alcohol that made you bad. I have to believe it was the alcohol that made me bad. So whether or not my kindness brings good or not, it's what I am and it's what I do. It's not trying anything. It's just what I am and what I do. But enough about sobriety. Let's get back to this thing called life. See you later.